Mateo Dixon prepares for a game like all of his teammates, with one exception. Mateo Dixon, at 13 years old, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, I mean, I was in grade 8, 13 years old, pretty young. I think that's the most common age to be diagnosed.
Being a young hockey player who wants to play a high level of hockey, there were difficulties along the way, but Mateo never let that stop him.
I was playing AAA hockey at the time, and I just finished shoulder surgery. And I mean, I was actually pretty lucky because my dad's a type 1 diabetic, so when I was feeling a little bit off, he would always test my blood sugar. And so we caught it at a very early stage, and for that I'm thankful. And I mean, at the time I started, obviously I was a little bit sad and disappointed and gloomy. But soon after, you know, it just kind of becomes a part of your life, and everything that consists in taking care of your diabetes almost becomes habitual after that. So definitely, if you're having consistent low energy, maybe feeling unnaturally thirsty at times, that's a sign of high blood sugar. I kind of already knew before I got a full diagnosis of it, because my dad tested my blood sugar at a fasted state, and it was like way above what it should have been. And he's a type 1, obviously, and it just perfectly matched the symptoms that I was having. So we kind of knew at that stage. But when I formally got diagnosed, I was more comfortable than you would probably imagine, as my father is a type 1 diabetic. He knew the ins and outs, and it's not the worst condition that you can have. And if you actually change your perspective a little bit, you can be appreciative that it is something like diabetes, that is something so manageable and something where our technology today can help you significantly. Today, it's definitely very manageable to be a high-level hockey player and perform at super high levels with diabetes, and I knew that at the time. So I didn't see it as a limitation, and I committed to it as something that it wasn't going to stop me along my journey in hockey. And my family was there for me to make sure of that as well. I had a great support group, you know, there for me to make sure that wouldn't happen. The support group is huge, especially your family being there for you. I think it's a critical aspect of moving forward with a condition than going backwards, right? I check my phone maybe like every 5-10 minutes, checking up on my blood sugar basically all day long, kind of micromanaging it. I don't test my blood anymore because I have Dexcom, which is a constant glucose monitoring device that signals my blood sugar to my phone. So that's why I'm always checking my phone to check my blood sugar, and I'm basically doing that throughout the day. Just don't view it as a limitation, because it truly isn't. It truly is not a limitation, and like I said before, you can almost change your perspective to be appreciative of it, of all the other different possible diseases and conditions that are much worse, much more difficult to manage, that would actually inhibit your ability to perform at a high level and be the hockey player that you want to be. So I would say with a condition like diabetes to a 13-year-old that you aren't limited, and you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, and diabetes isn't going to stop you. And it doesn't have to be an inhibition. For me, especially, I actually view it as a growth opportunity in certain aspects, right? Like, it allowed me to pay close attention to my body, which then led me down the path of focusing more on my performance. So it kind of led me down a path that I don't know I would actually be on if I hadn't got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, right? So for me, it has actually shaped who and what I am today and what I'm able to do. And for that, I'm actually thankful and view it as actually an opportunity of growth.